Welcome to Absurdly Nerds Top 10 Video Games of 2021. We're going to do a year in review like every month, at least once a month, for just going back until we can't go back anymore.
So like 1840s. When did Yahtzee come out? We'll stop there.
We'll stop at
I
Yahtzee.
fucking love Yahtzee.
No.
You like Yahtzee?
Scrabble. You don't like
I
Scrabble.
hate Scrabble.
Scrabble's
I hate
great.
I hate having to think.
What do you think's older, Scrabble or Yahtzee?
Gotta be Scrabble.
Yahtzee. I don't know, Bones
Yahtzee's
like dice.
just dice.
It is
Yeah, it's just dice.
Yeah, it's probably Yahtzee.
Before we do our top 10 list, we're going to get into some fun facts about 2021. It was the year of our Lord, 2021, and the COVID quarantine was rampant for video game developers, not for me. I went to work every fucking day, dude.
But it wound up being a solid year,
Yeah.
despite that. Like I'm
pretty
pretty
decent.
impressed with the year. Overall.
2020 was good too, but we'll get to that later.
See, I don't think 2020 was that great.
So the largest market...
Ghost.
Yeah, but that was really it.
So I'd say
We'll get to that later.
The largest market in video games of last year was China, number one. The highest grossing mobile game of last year, which none of us give a fuck about, is PUBG. Best selling premium game by region. Japan was Monster Hunter Rise. The United States was Call of Duty Vanguard.
We suck.
So boring. And Europe was FIFA 2022. So there's some cool events that happened, major events.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, well, you tell me. EA completed its estimated $1.2 billion acquisition of Codemasters. Too much.
What they accuse
Acquisition.
Him of? What they accuse him of?
They accuse
Damn
them
it,
of
Codemasters. What did you
making
do that?
codes, dude. What do they make?
They make Dirt and Dirt Rally.
They paid $1.2 billion for dirt.
Well, they wanted to complete their
Just make a new
monopoly
rally game.
of racing games, but still be not the best racing game company.
Yeah.
Because Microsoft
They
and
didn't
because
buy,
Sony.
Because they didn't buy Playground games.
Oh,
That's
here you
why.
go.
Right,
Here
exactly.
you go, Eric. This is one for you. Super Nintendo World opens to the public in Universal Studios Japan in Osaka.
Mildly opened. You know, like
March.
a soft COVID
Soft
launch.
opening.
I told Cole today on the way here, we was talking about the Nintendo World opening up, and it's 2025 for Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I will be 30 years old, excited about going to Mario Kart, dude.
That's gonna be great.
In June, E3 2021 was held online, and it was
Yeah,
boring.
not great. Yeah,
it was boring.
It was better than no E3.
This year has proved that I enjoy E3
Yeah,
for more than I
having
thought.
everything together is nice.
So before we get into our list, I do want to go over the video game-based film and TV releases of 2021.
I'm all ears.
So Dota, Dragon's Blood is an anime on Netflix. It was pretty great.
I heard it was good. It
Mortal
was
Kombat. It's like
That came out
That
last
movie?
year? Yeah.
I thought it was okay. You just hate it. I just
It's a
like it.
bastardization.
I like it because the guy, his name is Cole. The new character's name is Cole.
Not only the new character, I like Scorpion, and that was it. The rest
Oh,
of
I'll
them
tell you
sucked.
what.
I liked Scorpion. I liked Sub-Zero some.
Yeah.
I liked Kano's humor, even though fuck Kano.
Kano was the
Kano.
best part of that movie, dude.
You'll see more of Kano later. This
Yeah,
week.
too much for me. Goro was cool looking for.
Yeah, he looked fine, but it's
Yeah.
throwaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a throwaway character, which is
Yeah.
not what Goro. Well, I mean, I guess it is what Goro
Not
is, but
really.
he's more of a. I mean,
He's
the
a
real
legacy
villain of
character.
the real villain of the old movies was Shang Tsung, but you
And he
did have
fucking
Goro.
sucked in this movie.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Dude, he was the worst. Dude,
Oh.
that guy looked like Fred Armisen.
So you like.
I swear to God, he looked like Fred Armisen.
You like the what's his name as a better villain, don't you? In Mortal Kombat, the white, like the pale white guy. Quan Chi. Is that his
Oh,
name?
yeah, yeah. In the
dude.
games, I don't know if he'd probably be too corny in the movies.
I didn't like him in the games. I liked
I
like
love him in the
Shang-Chi
games.
better.
He's so scary.
Shang-Chi.
It's not Shang-Chi. What's
Shang
his name?
Tsung.
Shang Tsung.
I mean, Shao Kahn is my favorite. Like, that terrible movie, I loved it.
Yeah.
I love Shao Kahn.
We'll skip over Resident Evil, the movie that came out. There was the 90s movie that I told you guys to watch.
I
It's a
still don't watch
7.
that.
It's pretty fun.
I want to watch it. I bet it's better than
It's
Mortal
on
Kombat.
Stars.
Free Guy.
It's on Stars.
Free Guy.
Free Guy's weird. I
It
don't
was
know.
fun. It was more fun. It's not really based off of a property. It's making fun of games.
They had a lot of
it's not really making fun of it. It's like
Had
a
a lot of
cautionary
YouTube
tale.
streamers in, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cautionary tale of what gaming could be.
I'm sure I'd like it.
And then also the star of last year, Merle's favorite video game property into a show, Arcane.
It's weird that was last year. I thought that was the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
I think that's when I watched
because he sang at the Game Awards last year.
What could have been?
What could have been?
Yeah. No, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I love it.
I thought Castlevania was last year. Was that this?
The final season, maybe?
Maybe the final season, but it's been out for a minute.
Yeah. I was thinking the third season was
Castlevania is awesome.
Okay, so getting into the list.
The way we came up with our top 10 list is I did a top 10, Eric did a top 10, Merle did a top 10, and then we added them together, and then there's like an overall total. So some of our games may have not made it, and some of our games may have.
Number 10, Far Cry 6.
It deserves it, I think.
It should be number
I don't
10.
know about that. I didn't have it on my list. I thought it was just so cookie cutter.
It was for sure. It was.
But in a year
It was
of
Ubisoft making a Far Cry game that hasn't felt different since Far Cry 3.
yeah, but it's also comfort food at some point.
Well, look, I love Far Cry 5, but I like the whole, the Montana setting. I thought it was different in the from what we know, the tropical stuff. Like I got kind of burnt out on that with 4. And so I like seeing that they were going into like muscle cars and everything like that. I had fun with it. Not great. It ain't as good as 3 and probably not even 4, but I had fun with it. This one, though, it was just like a dirtier, not as exciting version of 3 and 4.
And
Those are just way better to look at.
But they also put way too much on Giancarlo Esposito. Like, yes, I get it. He's a great big actor, and he plays a good villain, but he really doesn't.
No.
He plays the same villain in everything.
But it's good.
Yeah,
it is. It's good, but I mean, how many times?
He ain't as scary once you've seen him in that role, you know, in Mando and Breaking Bad, and
and
like
the boys.
And the boys.
Yeah, he is literally that same guy every time.
Yeah.
But that's not really my problem. I played about 4 or 5 hours, and he wasn't even hardly in it.
Yes, that's
exactly.
Yeah, it just felt like Ubisoft games for me. It's the same problem I have with Valhalla, and it's a weird problem to have, but it feels too big.
They're comfort food games for me. That's why I will always like Ubisoft games, because they're comfort food. I can always jump in. Like if I get tired of playing some super intense game, I can always jump into a Ubisoft game and be like,
I get that,
let's chill out and just
but at the
shoot
same
things.
time, that game stressed me out because anytime I tried to accomplish anything, someone was fucking with me.
You get attacked so much.
Like to me, it was worse than 5. A lot of people complained about that in 5, and I didn't have as much problem with it. I could get around better. This map just felt like I was constantly fighting the landscape.
It's vertical. It's too vertical.
And people were constantly, or fucking alligators or whatever came across me. It would just slow down the whole path, and I get sidetracked.
It was always scary in 6 too, because it was like you're fighting a army. Like they had tanks and shit.
Yeah. Well, it's also
there's no comforting area there. For
every
sure.
Far Cry game since 3 just highlights how great 3 was.
Yeah,
for me.
For sure. I think if I wasn't tired of that right then with 4, if it wasn't so similar to 3, it really is a good game.
Yeah,
4 is a great game.
It's like 3, but blown up. And
it's on the mountains
I don't think
too.
it really needed to be.
I like the
blown
setting
up,
of 4 a whole lot.
Me too.
But
and the villain's Troy Baker.
I think 6 is a good game. Like Ubisoft makes good games. I just don't think it did anything new, and that's why I didn't put it on my list.
Yeah.
Number 9, Artful Escape. Now this game did new things all over the place. Eric didn't play that. Cole did.
I did play it. The only thing I can say about it that I still hold against it is like you can just walk around and press a button just to play music.
Yeah, it's
and
a walking
the same.
sim through
It's
and
the
through.
same tune though.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
he's
one thing I
playing the
don't like.
same song for the most part, but it plays differently depending on where you are. And also the environment reacts to it.
The environment reacting makes me like, okay, I'll play this. And then
You're literally making it's like a play, like the whole background is changing.
I need to try it. I started it up
definitely
one day and I didn't play anymore besides that opening.
the end piece
It's
of
literally
like,
a space opera, like the through and through definition of a space opera.
and the end piece of like every episode, or not every episode, but every
How long is that game, would y'all say?
It's like 4 hours.
4 or 5 hours.
Did you finish it?
No, I got to the very end. Didn't finish it.
I played it in
Me too.
2 different sittings, and it was, I just couldn't put it down because it isn't. There's nothing that makes you want to put it down. It's very chill, not demanding in any way. You can't really fail at any point.
But also, my favorite part of the game is seeing all the famous people's names at the beginning and then trying to pick out what character they play.
Yeah.
Still don't know who Mark Strong is, but
yeah,
I figured out who Lena Headey and Carl Weathers and
Carl Weathers is the main, space faring.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Wizard.
Carl Weathers is in it too?
Carl Weathers, yeah.
Yeah, he's like your guide basically.
I knew that Lena Headey's in it, but
yeah. Hetty. Is it Hetty?
I don't know.
I knew that.
Lena Headey, I think.
What's her face from? I knew Cersei was.
Cersei, yeah. I always think of her as the queen from
That's her,
300.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great. And Eric, you need to play it. It's
Mama.
beautiful. Like, it's one of the best looking. I know this is crazy, but it's one of the best looking next gen games I've played. Like, it stands out in such a striking, high contrast way. I really liked it a lot.
Speaking of great looking games, today I was playing Crash Bandicoot 4, and Eric was standing next to me, and I was like, why does this game look better than this new Saints Row game?
Oh, it does.
It does, dude.
No, that game looks awesome, too.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
a beautiful game.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake looks better than Saints Row.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, dude, come on.
Number 8. Resident Evil 8.
Low.
The only reason it was low on my list is because I didn't play enough of it to put it higher.
It wasn't on your list. It was an honorable mention on your
Exactly.
list. I had it pretty low on mine, but it got it on the list. Me having it on my list at all, it was pretty low on mine.
Tisk.
I really liked that game, but I don't know. It's horror games. It takes a lot for it to get above some of these other games. Really, what it comes down to is last year was great.
What I was also thinking of not too long ago when I was thinking about our Madison playthrough, I mean, this is different because it's how replayable are horror games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't replay them. I feel like, Eric, you have.
And, like, we played
cases,
through
but-
Madison, and I'm sure like someone will play through Madison again, but
Yeah.
I'll never touch that game again.
It doesn't bother me though. That doesn't bother me at all. Cause
No,
like,
I mean it's what they make it. They know.
right. Like, I mean,
Resident Evil 8 is a different story.
I was like the gameplay of 8. It was like the shooting stuff would make it more.
yeah, you could replay that
yeah.
more than others, but I don't need that from a horror game. Like, I don't need it from a lot of like Artful Escape. I'm never going to replay that.
Right,
That's true.
Right.
Like, it's more about that experience and coming away from something memorable with something memorable, and I think Resident Evil definitely does that.
Yeah. I think it was pretty high on my list. Yeah, it was much higher on my list.
Yeah,
I'd go back and forth on whether it's better than 7 or not. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I think it's different. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think we have to compare them to each other. I think I do like 7 better. It just feels more. It's more grotesque and memorable that
the
way.
stakes were higher. And
Yeah,
so, like
for
you felt like
sure.
you were always in danger. But when you start getting some badass guns in 8, you're like, oh, you're gonna blow through this area.
Yeah. I like that one seems self-contained in a bit,
Yeah.
a better way.
I do like them going to a different area and doing like the classic monsters with
Yeah.
the vampires and stuff like that. It was kind of cool.
Anytime horror games get too grand, it becomes less scary, but that doesn't mean it's less of a good game. Like Resident Evil 8, to me, the story is better than 7.
Yeah.
Like, it was better all the way through, rather than like I feel like
And
the
it was-
beginning half of 7 is really good.
And it was kind of different where like 7 was more linear, and this one you could like choose where you're gonna go, and then there's that hub
Yeah.
not overworld, but hub world like area.
Well, see that hub, but you still had to go in. You still had to go the same order we did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought you could go off.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
basically 7 but bigger. Like,
Yeah,
because 7
and
had
you're
the
not.
same
Well,
thing.
7 takes place usually in that, or mostly in that big house, and then this one I thought was going to be the castle.
Yeah.
That was one
But,
part of it.
2.5 hours, you're
Yeah.
out of there, and you're on to
Yeah.
the next thing.
Honestly, you liked it. That was my least favorite part of what I
The
played
castle,
of the
I
game.
love
yeah.
the castle.
It was too samey. Like, everywhere
Yeah.
you went, I was like, okay, I feel like I've been here.
But I was a real
don't
big
know.
fan of the castle in 4.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I like that better though. Personally, I remember
I do
it
too.
better.
I do too.
The baby part was the
But the
scariest
part
one.
with the baby in
Yeah.
the dollhouse is one of the most memorable horror.
I think y'all were
moments
playing it.
ever.
We were all playing together, and I fell asleep, and I woke up to
To
the
that.
baby screaming, and I was like, "Dude, this fucking game."
Dude, I was playing at that point. I was freaking
See,
out.
for me though, it went downhill after that part, and that's why I think I had
Right.
it lower on my list.
Yeah.
than, I would if it.
Yeah, if it would have held that
Yeah.
the whole way. But yeah, I think it's a decent spot for it.
Yeah.
Number 7, Life is Strange: True Colors.
That's a great game. It's weird it came out last year.
Yeah, I know. It feels. I don't know. It doesn't feel that long ago.
To
you
me,
think the opposite?
it feels old, like
No.
longer ago to me. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
long did?
I mean, it was after Resident Evil, and it feels
Yeah.
like to me. I felt like it could have been March of this year. Like, it feels
Really?
so recent to me.
I really love that game. The
Yeah,
more
oh,
like
it's
I've sat
great.
with it, I really like that game.
Oh,
Really?
just it's the best writing and dialogue they've done with
Yeah.
Life is Strange, because that's normally such a problem for me. It's charming, but it's also grating. So like, I don't. it's hard to recommend to people because
the
you
main
feel
character
corny.
was Alex. Yeah, she was very likable.
Oh yeah, and this one I could recommend to anyone because like I don't feel like it. She was great. Unlike to me, I think Max was a little meh. Like her powers were better. I think, but that's really the only reason this isn't higher for me.
The powers
were kind of like very abstract.
They didn't feel like they mattered at the end of the day.
Right. It's just kind of like a little bit of investigation, but you weren't really changing much of your decision off of that. Like
you didn't play True Colors, did you?
No, that's what I was gonna say. How long is it?
You probably do it like I'd say 2 hours for each chapter, and there's 5 hours or 5 chapters.
Yeah, I'd
and
say
then give or take
10,
on that.
10 hours is probably the average.
But it's now on Game Pass, so
yeah,
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Dang.
I have seen it recently and have thought about downloading it and playing it, but I just, for me, when those types, and it is weird because I like choices in games, but I also feel like if I play a game and I miss a choice or I miss something, like I fucked it up. That's how it was when I played The Witcher and I got an ending. I was like, man, I just feel like I messed it up. Like I could have got a better ending or, different endings. And I was like, that's the only thing I have against those kind of games.
I'm so good at thinking of my ending as the canon. Really.
Yeah, I do that
like,
too.
it doesn't bother me. Like we did As Dusk Falls recently, and it's like, okay, I know there's other ways this could have went, but this really feels true to what we selected. This is how it should have went.
I'm almost done with that game.
Yeah, you need to finish it. It's a great game. Life is Strange, True Colors is great, and I can't wait to see what Deck 9 does next, which will probably be another Life is Strange game. But
they announced that they are, and
they're taking over Life is Strange.
Well, no, they're going to keep doing Life is Strange. I think it was them. They said no more episodic, so it's going to be full games, and that there will always be a power in their games.
That's cool.
Life is Strange games.
They
did some kind of interview.
Mess with that formula. It's cool to see what they can experiment and make.
Yeah.
Number 6, Halo Infinite.
Oh my,
dude!
I wasn't expecting it to land this high, just because I feel like we very quickly fell off of this game.
Yeah,
I didn't play this campaign.
The only reason it's
I played a fair amount
on my list is because the campaign is so good.
Yeah.
And it's hard, and like it's not gonna break any molds in terms of open area gaming. But it's new to the franchise, and it also brings back like sprint and shit like that. And playing Master Chief with the grapple gun is fun.
That's the best part.
Yeah, like it's just a very fun, and it's hard. Like it's harder. Like I died more on just normal mode than I have on any of the other games in normal mode.
Yeah.
See, if we'd have done this when it came out, I probably would have had it higher. But I fell off the multiplayer so fast, and I'm way behind on campaign, so I didn't play the campaign. So to me, I haven't even touched this game since we were playing multiplayer.
My emotions about this game, like when it came out, I was so high, and I was like, this is going to be around for a long time. I'm going to be playing it so much because the gameplay was just so good. And I don't know what happened. Like I felt like I was so good and having a great time, and then all of a sudden the game was just frustrating.
Yeah.
And also wasn't earning anything for that frustration.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like we're talking strictly multiplayer right now. So like the experience, how do you get experience is fucking stupid. How they keep bringing back the same event over and over again. How they make you pay for the same color on different cores. Like all the armor is expensive. It's not unlockable like this. It's not. They said most of the stuff you can get is by playing the game. Not true. And it's just
the battle pass also just took a god awful amount of time.
It takes so much, and it's not just for kills. You didn't get shit for kills.
Right. The way it was a weird.
It was just gameplay.
System.
You could go in there, load in, and stand there until the match is over, and you earn just as much as the top.
And then also,
your performance doesn't matter.
This is also a legacy game with. We grew up playing Halo 3, custom games. We've also done Forge. We've also played Shoddy Snipes, all those. And it came out with fucking 3 game modes.
We're a couple months from being a year from this when this came out.
And no co-op.
And there's the co-op's still up there. I think we're on maybe the second battle pass, maybe third, which is like crazy for a game that's almost a year old.
Well, to me, the deal breaker is that there's no co-op, and there should have at launch been
co-op, yes.
Because now there certainly should be, and if there had been and we had beat it together, it would probably be in the top 3.
Yeah, that's the only reason I haven't gone back to it. Like the multiplayer fucked this game. Like I feel like the Halo multiplayer is a different game than Halo Infinite campaign. I just feel like the gameplay on Halo multiplayer is great. And when it works fun. It's so fun to play when it works, but it hardly ever works. Which sucks.
There is definitely good things in it.
Yeah, like
it's just not enough there to keep me wanting to come back to it.
Yeah. The story of Master Chief is amazing, and I like how they added boss fights to it. And
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, so there's like a boss fights now, and you're playing Master Chief, and there's a certain level of hope and feeling and emotion you get from playing Master Chief, and that is the only reason this game was so high on my list.
Yeah. Are they planning on doing DLC for the campaign? Or
see, I thought that's how they pitched it.
They were too, but
like it was going to be an ongoing campaign.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But no, it's just like the ending of Halo Infinite leaves it open for DLC, perfectly for DLC. But
we'll see. Nothing. I don't know. If it ain't worth the money, they may not do it.
Yeah. I got to get caught up on my Halo games.
Yeah.
We need to. I'd ready to play them.
No, I do think it's a good game. I think it's better than an 8, especially if they finish the damn game. Yeah. When it's finished, it's a good 9. It's just there's too many things lacking right now.
Yeah.
Number 5, Psychonauts 2.
Heck yeah.
That's a
great game.
One of the best games that I didn't finish.
Really?
Yeah,
I finished it. I wasn't blown away, but I would like it.
The gameplay is meh.
Yeah,
I mean, it's good, but not great.
It's the fighting is what I hate about that game. It's like the
that's just there.
I feel like it's forced. Yeah,
it's just there.
The
platforming's really good.
But the platform's good, and the worlds you go to are pretty interesting.
Yeah, I love that aspect, and like they're not just like worlds; they're people's brains, and you have to figure out why these people are like this. And so there's a whole like mechanic of story plus investigating plus platforming plus combat. So it's all. Quirky.
That's what I like about Persona is that you're getting these different worlds of like it's almost the same idea. You're going into their
palace,
their
brain.
But that's the highlights. Is the story and the platforming is awesome. I didn't care for the hub either though.
I thought it was fine. It did the job. It didn't stand out in any big way. But that game is very memorable to me. Like especially like the moment with Jack Black where you're going through the colorful area and all that. Like there's so many little things like that. I
hate that one happened so early because none of the rest of them lived up to that for me.
Really?
Well, I don't hate the combat because I feel like this game is perfect for telling people that aren't big gamers to try it out. Yeah. Because I think it'll really grab them and they'll be like, wow, you could never tell this story in any other medium.
No.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so great about Tim Schafer's games is like they're telling a very specific kind of story that throws you into this Tim Burton-y Cartoon Network thing and really makes you feel there, unlike just watching it.
Like if that was a TV show, like if it was an animated TV show, it would be like 3 seasons.
Yeah, it'd be fine and you just move on with life.
But it's also like it would take 3 seasons to tell that story. And in a game, you can play it. I mean, obviously
it's probably like a 12-hour game, maybe 15 tops.
Yeah. It's just kind of short.
Yeah.
But I love that game. If I'm rating that on a number scale, it's definitely not. Like I don't have enough to take away from it. The 1 point taken away is just because of the gameplay is kind of meh.
All right, this just in, folks. Absurdly Nerd is giving Psychonauts 2 a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, let's do a letter grade because that's what we do here. No, it's definitely a solid A to me. I take away the plus because of the meh combat.
Me.
Number 4, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Heck yeah.
Great game.
Delightfully great game.
I almost said on the last one that Psychonauts 2 had hands down the best story, but I think it's very close between these two.
Yeah, the story of this, because I know you wasn't high on the gameplay. I liked it for what it was.
I think it's fine. I think it's the exact same thing as Psychonauts 2. Like the gameplay is just there.
I had fun.
To be
I did
there.
have fun with the combat though. I liked the parts.
I mean it's better than Psychonauts 2.
Yeah.
Part of the sometimes the combat felt a little bit like, okay, dude, can we get to the cool part? To me. But the whole point of why I love this game a lot is because I went in with no expectations.
Oh yeah.
Because I saw that Square Enix was involved, and I do not like Square Enix.
Well, we'd already went through
like
Marvel's Avengers, and
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be soulless.
Yes, me
and
too.
it's the opposite, man. That game has so much character and love for what they made. Like they love Guardians of the Galaxy.
And after like maybe 30 minutes, I even quit. I quit comparing it to the movie because like this is just a different group, like a different dynamic, and it.
Yeah,
I thought
it's just as
no
good
way.
to me. Like it's just as good.
I thought there was no way I could really like it because I love the movie so much. Like some of my favorite movies ever, but it's right there with it, like in a different way. I don't even have to run them against each other. We kind of conflicted a little bit on this with Cole. I think the voice acting is top notch.
I do too.
Like, if every game had that, I'd be happy.
I mean, I just don't like Star-Lord's voice. I don't know what it is, dude. I
He's
feel
a
like
Kansas
he's
boy or whatever.
He's Canadian, bro. You can tell he's Canadian. The guy's voice in it was Canadian.
Where's he actually supposed to be from? It's
Kansas.
I think it is Kansas.
Yeah.
Or it's Minnesota or something like that.
Well, then that would make sense.
No, it's Missouri, ain't it?
I don't know.
Missouri sounds right.
What am I supposed to say?
Like
Jesus? It was my master's. What am I supposed to say? Jesus? So you're from Earth. I'm from Kansas. That's Earth, dipshit. Wow, dude. Just went on a whole rant.
Put it up there.
I think it is Kansas.
Yeah, I'm just thinking through all of the characters and comparing them to the movie.
I definitely like Mantis way better in the game.
Oh, yeah.
I like her in the movie, too, but yeah, in the game, I think she's funny.
Drax in the game is great.
Yeah.
Drax,
and he's very similar to Drax in the movie.
I think Drax in the game is better than Dave Bautista Drax, which is crazy.
A lot of the humor of the movies hit me more than his did. But I don't know. There is some good parts.
Really?
Yeah.
I like him.
I guess it's because we spend more time with him in the game.
Yeah.
To me, he feels more like. I mean, I haven't read that many comic books from Guardians, but that's what he feels like. Like this whole thing feels very much
one of the cooler
the
things for me was going into the Collector's Museum and seeing like Kang's throne and stuff like that.
That was a cool part of the game, yes.
Yeah. All of the set pieces are fantastic.
Oh, yeah. It feels almost Uncharted like with the chapters and like the settings and stuff.
Space Uncharted.
Yeah. I love that game. It's something I'm going to replay for sure.
I've been thinking about replaying it.
Yeah. Number 3, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
I'm so happy this game is on this list for a game that I've not played.
I love that game.
Dude, play this game.
I need to.
This game pops into my head more than any game on this list.
It's probably the prettiest game on this list so far.
The top 3 was so hard for me.
Yeah, it was.
And it's crazy that this game's at 3 because this is definitely among my favorite games of all time. Like it's so good.
It's fun as fuck, and the way it takes advantage of the PS5 of the hardware it's great, dude.
And I'm not even a big Ratchet and Clank fan. Like,
Me either.
And this was like I think one of the first ones I played the remake, but I didn't beat it. And this is the first one I played in a long time. And I fell in love with these. Like even the characters felt like I didn't miss nothing by not playing the other ones and stuff. Like they did a good job. If this is your first Ratchet and Clank game, you can jump right in.
The reason it was high on my list for a game that I didn't play is I think I started it and then I also watched Eric play pretty much the whole thing. So
I played it one day, just all day. I played it.
Yeah,
it's without a doubt the best example of what next gen is or current gen now.
Yeah,
but like that game brought us into the future. Right there, with the launch of the PS5.
And this nails it from all aspects on story, graphics, gameplay, characters, even the new characters they introduced, even the whole system of like the dimensions and the rifts and stuff like that. That is not. I hate tropes like that. I hate time travel tropes. But man, this game did it beautifully. Did it well.
It did it. They didn't make it like you're going into a whole nother area. They only did that a couple of times where you actually went to a kind of another planet. It was more like across this area, which is good because I was worried it was going to be like that's how you went level to level. And it could make it feel too moving.
I really like the open world areas. Like you could just roam around. And stuff. Like the ones that are real big and like you could. Where's one? What it's like skateboard? How do you get around one?
Yeah, you got like jet boots or something. It's like basically feels like rollerblading.
So
there's one where you can fly
my favorite
around
one.
Creature, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, now the set pieces in this game too are just fantastic. I would say my only knock is I think that villain is annoying.
Yeah.
And I just don't care about him.
Who's the villain?
It's Dr.
It's just that time period.
He's the alien
Crash
in the jar.
Villains feel like that, but they're not on my nerves like that. Like Neo Cortex. It's like they all feel the same, but Crash just don't get on my nerves.
Well, I feel like their legacy though. Like, if Cortex came out today, he would suck. I would hate that character because they fit in the 2000s, the 90s era. Whereas this guy came out, 15 years ago. Ratchet and Clank came out, what? 05, 06?
Yeah, I think so.
So I guess it's longer than I thought. But still, he sucks. I just don't like that villain.
Well, he's not imposing. He's not at all imposing.
Right at all, no. But I guess they did some cool things at the end with him and alternate versions.
The one that was badass.
Yeah. But really what carries that game is the planet trekking, going to places with different enemies.
I always think of the pirate world. That's when it pops in my head a lot.
Yeah, that's the good one.
The old, what's the guy who used to be whatever Ratchet and Clank is? Whatever Ratchet is. And he used to be
Wombax.
Yeah. Not Wombax. The guy who has like he used to be like the leader of whatever Ratchet and Clank is, and then he got disgraced or something.
Oh, the superhero guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I know who you're talking.
I just love his character because he's like all gusto, and he's a pirate now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a different version of him.
Oh, is it?
It's the one
it's a
reds.
different.
The red
through
one.
a different rift.
So sick though.
But yeah, I think that was another one of my only critiques, which it isn't. Is just about that time I was like, damn, this game is getting to be a little long.
Yeah.
About the time we get to the pirate one, I was like, holy shit, this is a whole new area.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was at the climax of this game. And I'm not complaining that I got more game out of it because it's a good game, but I was already like wrapping up a lot of my weapons, and I felt like I was getting close to the end there, and there's another 5 hours. So.
It's a fun platinum. I think you
Really?
Yeah.
I probably don't have that much left, honestly.
No, you was pretty close, I think.
Dude,
I was comparing them the other day. I was sitting there looking at everybody's stuff.
Dude just low-key bragged about platinum.
I just platinumed it.
He said, it's a fun platinum. Just let you guys know I'm platinum.
That's what it was.
I'm platinum. It's a fun platinum. Hey, look at me.
I try to do 10 a year, and I haven't done that yet.
10 platinums a year?
Yeah, you're not going to do that.
I had 8 last year.
You better find some small games to platinum.
Yeah, no.
There's no bug snacks this year.
Yeah, great game. Number 2, Death's Door.
Heck yeah.
I knew Eric's going to be mad. This was, again, so freaking close for me.
I love that game.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I didn't play this game until this year.
Really? Wow.
So no, I played it when it first came out, I think, and then when they released it to Game Pass, I played it again this year, and I was like, damn, this game is delightful as hell.
Oh yeah.
See, that game pulled me in so fast, and I was just every new area you went to, I was just so. This is so fucking cool.
I championed this game so much before it came out, and I was like, there's no way either of them are actually going to like it because I've talked about it too much.
Yeah.
And then Eric liked it, and I was happy
I
about
love that game.
So it's a simple yet challenging yet fun gameplay like loop of the fighting, and it's just so cute. You get to play as a little Raven. Cute.
I want more detailed isometric games like that.
This is what I wanted from Tunic, and I didn't get it. Like people love Tunic, and I just that's fine. But I
can
don't
see
get
it, but I thought the game didn't tell you where to go well enough.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Death's Door was the perfect amount of figuring it out yourself, but you're not going to get stuck for an hour.
Yeah.
Like I got stuck so many times in the first few hours of Tunic, and I was like, this is a little bit of a waste of time.
Even if Death's Door, if I went the wrong way, it led to something cool. Right. Tunic, I feel like I'm just being a dumbass and I can't figure it out.
Yeah, I don't like the levels, like the block system to it. Like it didn't feel as good to find the way through on there. I guess it's just to each their own, but I think the combat's way better in Death's Door.
I do too.
Like, but I mean, most people like it. I think if you do like Tunic, you like Death's Door.
Yeah.
But dude, the boss fights in that game, like from the very beginning, it just feels good. You know,
that first one was the tower guy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like it just there's something so whimsical about it and scary in a way, but it's also like it's not. Some games actually scare me as an adult. To the point, like scare isn't the right word. Stress me out, you know. But this world had enough of it in a Tim Burton way, without pushing me off of the game.
See, I always think
I needed a rest.
How like that first area or the first main area is kind of like Hansel and Gretel-ish, like the old woman and stuff. Like she keeps popping up and talking to you and all that, and then like that was a cool lead up to the lead up to that boss.
It's creepy, and then it's also kind of like melancholy because you're actually dealing with death.
Yeah,
but it's still a delightful game, and the music's great, and it's just
I never got annoyed.
The music is so good, especially in the black and white hub world where you go to see all the crows. Oh my gosh,
I think
they
just
slap so hard.
Yeah, it's so good.
But there was never a point where I like, even if I was losing to a boss, I wasn't like, this game is cheating me out of this. Like, I always feel like I know what I did wrong. It's kind of like the Souls like game where you know what you're doing wrong.
Yeah. It's like
at least you're not really losing anything with that.
Yeah.
If you are losing to a boss, it's like I'm losing some time. That's really it.
Yeah.
Whereas like Dark Souls, I can understand why people quit those games because it's like fuck, I just lost all of this progress.
Did it not have the same system where you had to find the Ghost Crow, or is that Tunic?
I don't think you'd actually lose it though.
Is it just money or what was it?
Maybe it was your money.
I don't know. I felt there was that kind of
It
system.
may have, but I feel like if you didn't get back to it, you could get it anyway. Like, I think it just stayed there regardless.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know.
There was some kind of system. I just can't remember.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was more checkpoint based.
I think, well, you had to plant those seeds too.
That was
right?
definitely a Ghost Crow though.
Yeah. Didn't you plant the seeds and that was kind of like the checkpoint
That's your
system?
health. Yeah.
That was, well, it was kind of checkpointed health.
Okay.
So if you died, that would be bagged.
Okay.
But yeah, no, fantastic game. That's one I'm going to end up, because I only have one more achievement on there. Freaking.
I thought about downloading
Umbrella?
PlayStation because it was on sale the other day. I was like, I could platinum this, maybe. But
Wouldn't be that hard. It's a lot, and you should. Now, I want you to, because there's so much cool crap that you have to find through the hints that you go to the squid guy.
I know which one you haven't done yet.
The umbrella is what I haven't
the umbrella.
done, which I'm halfway, or almost halfway into the game.
That is so ridiculous.
It is hard, but it's doable. But I did everything else, all the secret ending and everything. It's so good. But yeah, Death's Door, number 2. Number 1. Forza Horizon 5. Any other racing game
Would not even.
No.
I wouldn't even consider it. It's just that this is the racing game of all racing games. Like
Yes.
it is the ultimate and best, and I can't imagine it really going up from here.
I can't either.
Like-
I can't either, dude. I fucking love
for
it.
me,
It's a
this one
genre-defining game.
It's so much better than 4 because I didn't like the weather system in 4 at all.
Yeah.
But I still need to get back and finish this one. But my map was getting so full that it just I gotta leave. I gotta be done. I was
There's
like,
so
It can be.
like it's to the point where I've played this game so much. There's not a lot, and I don't usually do like the online stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like I've pretty much done everything else that I can, and now I'm just like trying to do redo races to get money so I can buy. Because, dude, who doesn't like buying a shitty fucking car and then making it cool looking?
Yeah, you go win some races with
See,
it.
my
Yeah,
favorite
I don't
thing
care about
is seeing the decals from online, like the
Yes,
the
those are
IPs, like Jurassic Park and stuff like that. And I always put those on them.
Yeah, I got a Scooby.
But another game that you wouldn't think had Greta.
Greta.
Good God, Great. It's called Great. This game had great set pieces.
Yes, it did.
yeah.
Like the races.
the volcano at the beginning and stuff.
Yeah, it really sets you up in a cinematic zone. It leads you to think about what you're going to do when you're out free roaming, you know, like going down a volcano, or like all of the stuff that you can go and do, like the dust storms stuff.
That was cool.
I like those.
I like where you're driving through like that jungly area to get to those ruins. That was cool.
Yeah, you actually come up on the pyramids, the Mayan stuff.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a beautiful game. The sound effects are amazing.
Yes.
Like it is truly next gen in that same way as Ratchet and Clank.
The license music isn't that great, but that's probably the only.
It's fine. It's it's culturally fits the game.
But it's also one of those that you could, once you've played it enough, you could just play Spotify, play your playlist music, and then race.
See, I do that.
I love
a lot
having
of
a game
games.
like
Anyway.
that.
Sifu, I listen to a lot of my music on Sifu.
Yeah. I probably played 300 hours of Forza Horizon 5. Like
I'm right there with you.
that
Not
game.
300, but I'm close to it. Because there was like moments where I would get like Merle kind of fell off. He was playing another game or something, and then I would like catch up to him on Roads Discovered. And then I would text Merle, and he'd be like, okay, and then
hop back in. That's what's so good is you get to see your friends, and you're like, no, this guy is not going to beat my jump.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat his jump.
I think I've gotten all the roads. I think I've discovered all the roads.
Nice.
If not, there's like 1 or 2 left. But yeah, like and then there's one of our friends who doesn't fucking play video games, and he's gotten way farther than me on a jump, and I'm just like, how the fuck did he? But I also don't like the high end cars. They go too fast. I sound like an old man. They go too fast. They go too fast, and I can't turn.
No, I need to play. I do need to play more of this and actually see the story beats through.
Yeah. I will say, don't expect a lot. Like, there's a loose connection there that makes the world feel better.
I love that it's your character from 4 is this guy.
Yeah,
it's a festival. Like, cool. And I like the festival. I like all the races, man. It's just, dude, this game is so amazing. Yeah. And like, if we were talking about like the prettiest games of the year, this is number 1. Ratchet and Clank, maybe number 2. I think
those two are right together. They're both gorgeous. In a different way. It's hard.
It makes me worry about Ragnarok because it's PS4 and PS5, where Ratchet was just PS5, and I do think that benefits.
But if Forza can look this good on Xbox One, I think Ragnarok will be fine. Horizon, it looks great.
Oh, yeah. It looks great on my Xbox One.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, Forbidden West. Yeah. But no, Horizon.
Forbidden
Forza
West
looks good
Forbidden
on
West
Xbox
is a pretty game, dude.
Right. So I'm not worried about Ragnarok. But yeah, I love any game where I can sit there and do the same jump for 2 or 3 hours and not feel bad about it. You know?
And just switch cars every time.
Yeah. It's just like, which car can I get the furthest over this freaking chasm? It's just great.
And then it also has the Warthog from Halo. So fucking love it automatically.
Yeah. Y'all want to do memorable honorables?
Yeah, we'll do memorable honorables.
So these are our honorable mentions. Dude, you like that? It sounded a little like the Halo guy.
Deathloop is a game that a lot of people really liked. I did not. I didn't like it at all. Cole was the only one that had it on his list, and he had it at 10, so it wasn't.
Well, I had it at 10 because I played less than an hour of it because I don't have a PlayStation 5. Yeah. But I like the voice acting in that.
Oh, it's good.
A lot, dude. Yeah. A lot. I like the main character's voice actor, and I love the gameplay. I love the way it looks, but I didn't play enough of it to even really. But the only thing I hate about it is the ending. I hate the endings.
Yeah.
Because I've looked up the endings, and they're fucking stupid.
That's what I've heard.
I mean,
but I will say, the voice acting's great and everything, but it makes me want it to just be
linear,
right?
A linear shooter.
So every time I'm hearing this voice line, I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't fit together.
Well, once you've done the same situation for the 5th or 6th time, you're like, this is
cohesive. Is the word I was looking for.
It just gets old doing the same stuff over and over. Like to me, that like it didn't.
Yeah, running through the same area.
Hades, I could play that all day and not feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like work to do that. Whereas Deathloop always felt like work to me.
I put 20 hours into Deathloop and I didn't even beat it.
Yeah. You said it best when you said the game feels like it wants you to sneak but doesn't give you the means to sneak.
Yeah.
Like that game is way too punishing when you start firing. Like, I don't know.
It's just it's dots everywhere.
Right. All of a sudden, it's overwhelming. Like you can't really set up a game plan. And the way they show in the trailers, like I never was able to do it that way. Maybe I just suck. I'm not usually bad at games.
Though, I don't think there's 2 of us that suck at this game.
Yeah, like we're not bad at games, but most of the time.
You guys probably do suck, and I'm better at games.
I mean, to me, BioShock is a difficult game, and I can strategize and do the thing. They give me the means to be good at that game. I just didn't feel like Deathloop did it in the best way.
I didn't feel like...
At least not early on. I didn't
wanted you to sneak, and then I didn't get a silenced weapon until like hour 17. Like,
jeez.
Now, I got about 6 or 7 hours in. I was just like, I'm not really having fun. I'll give it back to Eric because you bought it. And I was like, I never really wanted to invest in it in the first place because they wore me out. IGN, good grief.
Deathloop was never my friend, dude.
Yeah.
That's a...
What is that?
Dana White said he said he was never my friend.
Did that game get a 10? Or was it 9?
IGN gave it a 10. Yeah. But I want to say, and this sounds... rude.
Be rude, dude.
I think they gave it a 10 because they got a lot of money for freaking talking about it in the lead up.
They did do a lot of previews and shit on it. Yeah.
Like, I feel like they paid so much to have that game previewed at places. Like, why wouldn't you just go ahead and give it a really high score? Because, otherwise you sound stupid for talking about it so much.
I hope since they're already promoting Gotham Knights that they get paid off for Gotham Knights and it gets a 10 because it's on my fantasy.
Have they been talking about it a lot?
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, that is kind of the biggest... commercial game of the year, yeah.
First of all, did It Takes Two come out last year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
I just thought of that too, dude. Because that would have been your number 1.
That was my number 2. And I must have just overlooked it. There's an honorable mention that would have made the list if I hadn't been putting the list together. I completely, and it was mine. It was mine too. I had it at number 2, and somehow I just missed it. It Takes Two didn't feel like it came out last year. To be honest with you,
I didn't play it.
I didn't play it either. I have it in my Game Pass. It's actually downloaded on my thing. I just got to find time to play it with somebody.
Yeah. Well, it would have landed in the top 5, somewhere in the top 5. I don't feel like doing the math on it, but
so you guys do the work and you plug it in wherever you want.
There you go. I love that game, and I feel stupid for forgetting it. I played through it with my wife, and we had a wonderful time. Like, I feel like it was really good therapy for us. That game does so many genres well. Like, that's what I bragged on.
That's what I heard. It changes up like so much.
Yeah, like I can't believe they stuffed 15 different genres into this game, and none of them feel bad. Like, I would say 5 of them feel really good, and then 10 of them are like good enough. You know, like they don't feel bad in any way, but they're also kind of like, okay, this is just a gimmick to get me through this area to be something different, you know.
And what I've always heard about this game is when you think about it, the plot of the game is not something that's unreal, that's unheard of. We've seen it in movies and TV shows all the time, but the way this person handled the game, how they made the game, makes the story more impactful, I think.
Oh yeah,
and you can relate to it a little bit more.
I don't know much besides the I know the story of like what they got in the commercials and stuff, like the trailers.
Yeah.
That's as much as I know about this game.
It's like two parents are going to.
I know that. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, it's like two people fall in love, they fall out of love, and then they have to go on a trials and tribulations and find out why they fell out of love. Are they still in love? And it's basically like at the end of the game, is it open for interpretation?
No, it's
I don't know. I've never played it.
Yeah, y'all just need to play it together. Why?
I'm not playing it with this guy. I will play it with somebody.
You're not like you're not like you're role playing as a wife and a husband. Like you're just playing those characters doing the things, and you see the story. Well, it's just me and her being married. Yeah, it's kind of like tugs on your heartstrings in that way. But
this guy works night shift. Otherwise, I would play with him.
Yeah,
I'll play with you.
Just need to pick out a good.
Good God, Persona. When you type in your name, they never use it. They go, "This guy,
this guy,
this guy here, this guy here had it worse than the rest of us." They get called Senpai today.
I typed Senpai.
Yeah. He was playing Persona 5 Royal, and they called him Senpai. No, It Takes Two should have been on the list. I'm sorry. I didn't think about it until.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I put the list together. Let me apologize, Cole.
Yeah, I don't care. Apologize.
Hey, it wasn't never gonna be
apologize. Keithy.
So 2 more. Back 4 Blood. I didn't have on my list. I don't think Eric did. Cole, you did.
I don't mind, just because. Looking back on it, we did have some fun. Even our friends that aren't really our friends because they don't watch our content, the twins, they played it. And I can tell that because they won't watch it. So, yeah, they played it with us and had fun.
I think the game is very fine.
Yeah. It's
there's not enough. Like, the fun in that game is being with your friends.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, that's what zombie games are.
I wanted that Left 4 Dead
novel
feel, and I never got it off that game.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think that time has passed.
Sort of. Like, it kind of gave that feeling for a moment. But it wasn't as good.
Yeah.
I think it's also, like, a moment in time. Like, you can't do goofy 90s movies anymore because it's just like that time has passed.
Right.
You can't do like early 2000s skater type games anymore because that time, I mean, you can do a skate game, but you can't oversaturate the market with BMX games, Thrasher, skate, all these. You can't do that anymore just because that time has passed.
Well,
I think that's what it is for Left 4 Dead.
If I could save time in a bottle,
Yeah. It would be a nice thing. And the last honorable mention is Outriders, which Eric would never play, no matter how much I said it was a fun game.
I played that game. I don't know. You're crazy. I played that game. I played it for 5 hours.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. I was skipping the story scenes. I skipped everything.
The story was absolute garbage.
Then I said, if I want to play Gears, I'll play Gears.
I think that game plays better than Gears. I think it's one of the best playing third-person shooters ever. I think the gameplay is fantastic. But the story is so freaking bad that why would you care to get in this world?
I just wasn't interested in what I was doing in that game.
Yeah,
the enemies are kind of meh, and the world is meh.
The way it looks
is
meh.
The way you move it, it's meh. But the way you move in that game feels awesome, and the powers, the electric powers of I don't remember what the name of that one is, but it's like a blue electricity you shoot out and they explode. Like it's freaking cool.
Yeah.
I just wish they would do better as far as the story went.
Do better.
Did I have new Pokemon Snap?
No, you did not.
New Pokemon Snap's an honorable mention.
Okay. Add new honorables. Yeah, that's a very cute game.
I love that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cute game.
It doesn't have guys smoking cigars with big muscles with cut off T-shirts. I don't like it.
Hey, that would be a fun photography game.
Yeah, for Cole.
For me too. I'll be using one hand to take pictures and one hand to pleasure myself.
Yeah.
If it's not Gears of War Snap, I want to play.
Dude, Gears of War Snap. Making a Snap game of any other franchise would be insane, but we can get away with it for Pokemon.
I don't think they have a
Pokemon's the shit.
Monopoly on Snap. On the Snap part of it, you can make a
doing the
photography.
podcast with a bunch of Pokemon haters, dude.
I said it's fine.
And you're gonna play Pokemon Violet co-op.
But what Violet? We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm just
slapped you,
dude. You're not Pokemoned out.
Money. I had to look. What I did the other day is I sat there and I wrote out every month and like the top games and which ones I'm willing to spend money on, and that one was on there, but not saying willing to spend money just
close,
yet.
But no cigar.
Yeah, it's like right on the edge, and I don't know. There's nothing else that month, so maybe
I have to spend $70 3 months in a row.
Why?
No, you're not buying. Do not buy that remake.
That remake is awesome.
No,
looking.
it isn't.
But you bought the other remake.
It's $70 for a game we've already beat multiple times.
And you beat the remaster that they made a couple years ago. If you want to buy it, you buy it.
I mean, yeah, it's your money, but at the end of the day, there's better games coming out in September.
There's not much in September.
There are other games coming. Okay, August has really good things, and there's some things in September. And then October is going to be too much money.
I just don't know why. I mean, I do know why everyone loves Last of Us is probably one of my favorite games ever made. Yeah. But we don't need another remake after they did a remaster.
Well, they're just bringing it up to current.
Yeah, we don't need it.
That game played bad. We do need it.
No, it didn't play bad. It played fine. For 2013, it was good.
Yeah,
really
but
good.
now we can play it like it's modern.
I don't need to. I just beat the game before the last one came out.
But it's not for you. It's for the people that watch Last of Us.
The two people that didn't play it.
No, it's for the people that get into Last of Us and they're like, man, that's fun. We should probably try the game.
I hope it sells 13 copies.
Well, if I have anything to do with that, it'll be 14 because I'll buy one.
I'll buy two.
I won't do that.
Oh, wow, dude.
So
that was our year in review 2021 top 10 video games list.
Well done.
Thank you.
Sorry, it was a little bit of a shit show. I'm human.
No, Merle's so bummed. It was a good list until we forgot Last of Us. It Takes Two, Last of Us.
Oh, Animal Crossing. No, it wasn't that year. I'm just kidding. It was 2020.
Yeah, that 19. 2020. I swear I always think it's 2019. That game feels like it's been
it was
fucking
COVID.
ever.
During COVID.
Yeah.
Was it?
You're right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. When it first started.
Yeah, you're right. That's going to be a fun year that we're going to do next month. And y'all come back, you hear?